After Lincoln was elected president, the country began to spiral out of control. The different beliefs between the North and the South became transparent and soon began to escalate. When tensions grew stronger, South Carolina seceded from the United States, and many other slave states would follow their steps. These seceded states would call themselves the Confederacy, led by Jefferson Davis.
As the nation was facing turmoil, an island fortification off the coast of Charleston, South Carolina, called Fort Sumter, was in a dilemma. Originally constructed in 1829, it was a coastal garrison. Here, the United States would hold troops for future combat. During the winter of 1861, conflicts arose at the fort when the Union troops needed supplies like food and reinforcements. When the Confederacy heard of this, they took advantage and blockaded the island. Lincoln was faced with a bothersome decision that would affect the nation in drastic ways. He had two options. Lincoln could evacuate the fort and send his troops back home. This, however, would only give the Confederates authority and let them take control of the fort. This would also not be received well within the Republican Party, and it would weaken Lincoln's administration. The other option was to send in reinforcements to take care of the blockade. The problem with this was that Lincoln would be responsible for beginning hostilities with the South.
After much consideration, Lincoln devised his response to the Confederate blockade. Instead of evacuating or attacking troops, Lincoln decided to send in food for the hungry men trapped in Fort Sumter. Now, Jefferson Davis, head of the Confederacy, was faced with a dilemma. If he let the supplies pass through, it would weaken the reputation of the seceded states. On the other hand, attacking the Union would turn the peaceful disaffiliation into a war. With little options and time running out, Jefferson ordered attack on Union reinforcements. At 4 a.m. on April 12th, the Confederate Army opened fire on Fort Sumter. With little supplies and ammunition, the Union would surrender after 34 hours. Although the battle itself resulted in 0 casualties, the event had much significance. For one, the Union lost their most important remaining fort in the South. After the battle, the North would have to evacuate their troops from Confederate territory, which did not go well with the Union. Also, the attack on the Union soldiers angered Northerners, creating a feeling of unity and revenge. As a result, the North gained more fighting power and motivation. But during this time, some Southern states seceded after Lincoln's decision to send troops, including Virginia, a major loss for the Union. But most importantly, this battle would ignite the whole Civil War. Previous to this event, the country's divide was somewhat trivial. Although the different beliefs on slavery would cause some states to secede, the nation as a whole knew that these arguments could easily be solved peacefully and professionally. This, however, would not be the case. Fort Sumter would defy these ideas and cause further secession of the Southern states and the breakout of war. What seemed minor at first, the war would persist and last for 4 devastating years. What were once peaceful disagreements, the Battle of Fort Sumter would change the tide and ignite one of America's most momentous wars.